Hello everyone, and today I got a cool video you guys about, and it's going to be about Dr. Ratio. He is the free 5-star character that you're able to get in the game via by mail if you log into the game and make an account on the game. And he's completely free, but you have to unlock the mail feature first. So you have to play a little bit of the game to unlock the mail feature, and then you get him, and then he's yours. And then you got a free 5-star. I said character, but character. Free 5-star character named Dr. Ratio. So let's hop into the character trial aptitude showcase for him and see what he does. So, Dr. Ratio. He is part of he's imaginary, so he likes to imagine himself. Yeah, I'm kidding. But he's imaginary, and he is part of the hunt path. All of his attacks from his allies can trigger powerful follow-up attacks. He increases crit rate and crit damage based on the number of debuffs on the enemies, which is really cool. So the more debuffs the enemy will have, the 100% likely that he will deal a follow-up attack, which is pretty cool. If we hold down tab, we can actually take a look at the character and see what they think, which would be really cool, and what the developers think would be great on Dr. Ratio. So, let's see. We got the more stats over here. We can see that his base attack is HP is pretty high, around 3,000. The attack is around close to about 3,000, which is not bad. Ooh, that crit damage is only 102 though. Crit damage is very low. You would think it'd be a little bit higher. Crit rate 68, outgoing, and then he does get the imaginary damage boost. Okay, that's cool. So let's take a look at what his abilities do. So he has a basic attack, deals imaginary damage equal to 90% of Dr. Ratio's attack to a single target enemy, which you probably won't be doing much of that because it's going to be doing his follow-up attack. So for the follow-up attack, it deals imaginary damage equal to 131% of Dr. Ratio's attack to a single enemy. When Dr. Ratio uses his skill for every debuff on the target, his crit rate increases by 2.5% and crit damage by 5%. So for this, you get 5 damage crit and then 2.5. I mean, crit damage goes up by 5, and the other is going up by 2.5. This effect can stack up to 6 times. So if you're at 6 times, you should be able to get here. Let's do 2.5 times 6. That is 15. He gets a 15 extra crit and then 30 extra crit damage. So, which is pretty cool. When the skill is used to attack an enemy target, there's a 100% base chance to reduce the attack target's effect resistance by 10% for 2 turns, which is really cool. There's one character I like that he teams up really well with, but more on figuring him out and seeing what he does. His ultimate deals imaginary damage equal to 216% of Dr. Ratio's attack to a single target enemy and applies Wise Man's Folly. When Dr. Ratio allies attack a target afflicted with Wise Man's Folly, Dr. Ratio launches his talent follow-up attack for 1 time against this target. Wise Man Folly can be triggered up to 2 times and only affects the most recent target of Dr. Ratio's ultimate. The trigger count resets after Dr. Ratio's ultimate is used. So there is a little thing playing Dr. Ratio is if you use his ultimate on another character, it will reset to another character and not the one that you're already hitting. So you have to make sure you do it onto the same target so you can get rid of the same target. And then we're going to take a look at his technique. After his technique, he creates a special dimension that taunts nearby enemies, lasting for 10 seconds. After entering battle with the enemies in this special dimension, there's a 100% base chance to reduce the enemy's single target speed by 15% for two turns, and only one dimensional created by allies can exist at the same time. Oh, which is pretty cool. And then his talent, looks pretty big. So let's read his talent. When using his skill, Dr. Ratio has a 40% fixed chance of launching a follow-up attack against his target for one time, dealing imaginary damage equal to 236% of Dr. Ratio's attack. For each debuff the target enemy has, the fixed chance for launching a follow-up attack increases by 20%, which is really good. If the target enemy is defeated before the follow-up attack triggers, the follow-up attack will be directed at a single random enemy instead, which is really cool. So to get this, all you need is 3 debuffs, which is 20, 40, 60. It's 100%. So it's going to do 100% follow-up. When dealing damage to a target that has 3 or more debuffs, for each debuff the target has, the damage dealt by Dr. Ratio to this target increases by 10% up to a maximum of 50%. So like the character Silverwolf, if you're playing with Silverwolf, he can deal like she could put on 5 debuffs on the enemy. That's already 5 plus the debuffs he gives out. You already hit that. You already hit that extra 50% increase already. So those are his abilities. Let's take a look at his light cone. This is what his light cone is. It's baptism of pure thought. He is very, very full of himself. He is full of himself. But let's read what his light cone does. It increases the wearer's crit damage by 20%. For every debuff on the enemy target, the wearer's crit damage against this target increases by 8%, stacking up 3 times. So 8, 16, 24%. And when using the ultimate to attack the enemy target, the wearer receives the disputation effect. Finally got it. I was stuck there. Which increases damage dealt by 36% and enables their follow-up attacks to ignore 24% of the target's defense. This effect lasts for 2 turns, which is really cool. That's a cool light cone. It's not as powerful as the other light cones that affect the whole field and everything else in the game. So not as good as those. These are his things. He's at level 8, so we already went over these 3 because they're never going to have full max stats 10 10. It just makes it too strange. And this is the equipment they think is pretty good, and then his eidolons. So they teamed him up with Japard, which is a U. That's pretty cool. They teamed up with Japard, and they gave Japard the Trend of Universal Market, which is a very cool light cone, very unique. And then they trained him up with Pela, which also she also has Resolution Shine as Pearl Sweat also, which is really good. And she does defense reduction. And then, so let's do this. So you guys want to see what the statues look like? So, statue. Look at that statue. There's another one. Another one. Look at these cool statues. Man, I feel like they do look like they are doing JoJo references for some of the statue poses, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go over here. We're going to alert them. And then we attack in the back. So this is what Dr. Ratio's stuff is. You already seen it. We're going to turn off ×2 speed. I know, I play in ×2 speed, but I like to say thanks to everybody who's blowing up my videos. It's making me super excited. So thank you and everything else. So if you want to hit here, I'm using mouse and keyboard for now. But you can click here. You can see his idle pose. You can still click and see what his stuff there does. But we already went over it. There's Pela. There's Japard. So we're only fighting one dude. So let's get this over with. He's already burned, which is nice. He took burn damage from attacking Japard because of the light cone trend of Universal Market. And then we're going to put Midas defense. She already put in Shroud, but she could put
I hope you're prepared.
because it has ensnared and then expose. We got put 3 debuffs on this thing. And then we could try to freeze with Japard. Ooh, now he's frozen. And now we're going to do a follow-up attack. Follow-up attack.
Fail.
We have the upper hand.
See, that's his follow-up attack. He's saying you failed in school. He's teaching you some stuff.
Ready for another?
You will know justice.
Do you have answers? Question mark. 0 points.
And then you can see the calculation numbers on the chalk and everything. He is, and then we do the ultimate. He analytical loser. That was weird. It just did something strange there. I did notice. Everybody want to see Japard's ultimate in slow motion? His ultimate's still pretty cool for Japard.
Fail.
And it sounds like the chalkboard sound too. Man, this dude is punching.
I'm asking the questions. Never stop thinking.
And then here comes again. So, this was Dr. Ratio, the free 5-star character. So, if you guys like this video, you can like and subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. So, thanks for checking out today, and I'll see you guys the next one. Peace.